Hi everyone! We're here at 2 o'clock and we're going to be doing our Proud Peacock painting. I'm on my phone again to do this live. I was trying to get my laptop to cooperate with Facebook. I think I'm a little bit closer to solving the issue, so hopefully I'll get that up and going by next week. We'll just give it a little bit of time so everyone can jump on and get ready. So I'll set up my phone so you can see the canvas momentarily. I have a picture of the peacock on my laptop in the back, just so I can take a look and use that as inspiration. So we'll be doing that. So if you want to grab the inspiration image off of our Facebook page and then just have it so you can see it. So maybe if you have on your computer, have two browsers and have the picture of the peacock and then your the live going as well, so you can follow along with us. That'd be fantastic. And so I see some people are popping in right now, which is great. Hey Hermie, thanks for joining again. Hi Queenie, hi Ashley. That's great. We have some of you guys who joined this morning as well. So this this lunchtime at 12, we did the pink flower. So that's up on our Facebook page. So feel free to jump in and take a look at that and paint along. So thank you guys for joining in and sharing. I didn't get a chance to put mine up and Jack's up yet, just because I was trying to see if I get my laptop to cooperate and film us live on that. But yeah, technology is not my friend today. Hey Alex, glad you're joining us. Hi Annette. I'm so excited to be doing this. This is very different than what we've done before. I think it's going to be really fun. It's very, reminds me very like cartoon-esque. So it's great. Anytime we do things that are very cartoon-like, it's always fun. As soon as you get like that black outline around the image, it just makes it pop and it just looks so good. So I think this is going to be very satisfying. It's also very different. So anyone who joined us for this morning session, this morning was that pink flower, and it's very like impressionistic, so you kind of like let the strokes go and you have this whole like feeling and vibe to it. This one is a bit more it's still whimsical, but it does have it's a bit more constraint, I guess, so it's more all one color blue in one section and more precise. So it's nice to have the balance of the two. I think it's going to be fun to do both. For everyone who's joining us for both, it's really cool. Hey Lindsay, glad you're joining again too. That's fantastic. Hi Scott. Are you going to be painting too? I hope so. I know Nicole said she's going to be joining, so that's really exciting. Awesome. So let me try to set this up well. I have a tripod now, which is exciting. Let's see if this is going to work for us here. Tammy. Hi Tammy. Okay. Yes, we can see that. Okay, and I think my tripod is stable. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll see. If it just like drops, that might happen. Awesome. Okay, cool. So we have this set up and going. We'll give it a little bit more time. Hi, Hermie. We'll wait another like 2 minutes or so before we get started on it. This is a good time to tie your hair up. My earlier video, my hair was kind of in the way of our painting, so I apologize for that. Get your hair out of your face, lady. Okay, I'm gonna be, the painting itself, like the actual image is like on a square canvas, which looks pretty cool. I don't have a square canvas to use. I'm using an 8x10 canvas board. So it's just like a thin canvas board. They're quite cheap, or they're cheaper anyways than regular canvas. So that's what I'm using, and I'm going to be using it, I think I'm going to be using it on a horizontal line, so we'll do it that way. So I haven't put any paint on my canvas yet, but I do have my water container is ready to go, and we have 3 sizes of brushes ready to go as well. My son is not joining us on this round. He's painted out from the first section, so that was, I'm glad that he joined for that. Ironically enough, my blue is called Peacock Blue. Isn't that a nice coincidence? But you don't need peacock blue. You can use any blue, is totally fine. So yeah, I'm gonna get some of this going on my palette while we wait a little bit longer. Oh, fantastic. Nicole's locked and loaded. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna get quite a bit of blue going on. Ooh, definitely think there's some dried paint in there. That's fun. All right. So I don't think I'm gonna use red at all. You know what? I'm just gonna not put red on. I do want some yellow to make some greens going on. So again, I'm using our primary colors are our source of all of our other colors. So red, blue, yellow, white, and black for some values as well. If you have pre-mixed colors, as I do have green and orange and some other ones in the back. You can use those as well. So you feel free to use ones that are already pre-made. I'm gonna put a little bit, yeah, we'll just put a little black for now because we're gonna use more later. And I'm just gonna put in, awesome. She also has Peacock blue. Yep, Nicole and I are on the same wavelength. She's a pretty cool chick. So yeah, I love it. That's great. I know, and I saw that, I was like, how appropriate. How appropriate. Peacock blue for this lovely peacock. Fantastic. Okay, I am going to put a little bit of the pre-made green as well on my canvas in case I want to play with it. I might. Maybe, maybe not. Not too sure yet. Okay, cool. So what time do we get here? 2:06. Okay, perfect. Let's start it up. All right, so we want to get a nice background on this. So I kind of wanted to do mine in like a pink. So I think I'm going to do my background in pink. The one on this image is like this very light pale yellow, but I'm going to do pink. So I actually am going to use my pre-made pink and maybe some red to do that. I'm just going to get some pink out there. I think I wanted to kind of have like an 80s kind of really bright vibe. I'm feeling kind of Zach Morrissey today. All right. So yeah, so I'm going to do the background in like a pink. So I'm using this like pre-made pink. It's called Tutti Frutti. I used it earlier today. And I'm going to get the canvas with some white and just give it like a nice pink wash all over. So start anywhere you want and let's just get the background color on. So I'm using my big fat brush. If you don't want to use pink, then the original one has kind of like a pale yellow. So you would do the same thing that I'm doing here, only use yellow and use yellow with white. And as you're going, what great thing is when you're doing this background, you can start off with whatever color you want. And then if you start with a darker color, like just the pure pink, just keep adding more white to it. And then it will give it a nice wash. And it will blend it right on your canvas itself, which is cool. Okay. And as you're going, feel free to like turn your canvas so you can get all the sections going. So I want to do like I said, a pink background. So anyone who might be tuning in and you're looking at my background and looking at the image, you might be like, what? Yeah, I'm going with a soft kind of pink background for funsies. Okay. I'm almost out of my, how did black get in there? That's okay. The great thing about acrylic is that we can paint right over it. I'm just gonna get more white on my palette. Touched my black paint. Well, I'm gonna make it work. That's fine. We'll like blend it in, and then once it dries out a little bit, I'll just cover it back up with some pink. It's when you get too into your painting and you don't look where you put your paintbrush in when you grabbing more paint from your canvas, your palette. There we go. It's like it never happened. Okay. You guys all know what happened, but that's okay. It'll be our secret. No one else looking at this painting, when they see it in my house later, will know what happened. So what about that snow today, guys? Anyone enjoy all the flurries coming down? Kind of crazy. I don't remember it snowing this late in May. I can't remember the last time it did. I feel like it's never been this late in May before. So I guess I think I'm happy with this coloring. Okay, and if you are using a canvas with like quite a bit of sides on it, please make sure that you also paint those sides. Okay. And when you want to do this background, if you want it to be more straight up even color, you can just keep blending, and then it will end up just being like all, hello, you can make it all one solid color. Canvas board likes to move around a lot. Okay, so I'm just softening out my background. Okay. It's totally gonna fall again. Okay, there you go. So if you're having a canvas board, make sure you paint all the sides of your canvas as well, so that everything's nice. So when you hang it up, there's not just like blank canvas on one side or at the bottom or something that people can see. So just make sure you do that as well as we're going on. So mine has like a pink finish to it, so I like that. I am going to do it in landscape mode. Okay, there we go. I feel like it's gonna move there. I'm not, my easel is a stepping stool. So that actually worked quite well, and I really enjoy the multifunctional uses of it, having it in this room. It's been very convenient. Okay, so I'm just washing off my big brush because I'm not going to be using this big brush, I don't think, anymore on this painting. What I want to do now is I'm going to, now that I have the background the way I want it, I want to let it dry a little bit. So now we're just going to chill out and talk for a little bit until this dries. Alternately, if you want it to dry faster, you can always use like a hair dryer to it or a fan or something, and then it will dry faster. The reason why we want it to dry completely is that with acrylic paint, when you put more paint on it when it is wet, it will blend. So if we start painting in the blues and the other aspects to it, it can still look pretty cool, but it's not going to just be like the solid color. It's going to blend into the background. So I want it to be dry before I start doing that, as this is more of a cartoon like direct image on here. So yeah, so we're just going to let that dry a little bit. So that's going to take a little bit of time. Acrylic though, still, even though it will take a little bit of time, is way faster to dry than like any other types of paints. So like oil paints take quite a long time, and there's some great things you can do with them as well. So we're just going to wait a little bit and do that. So I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Let this dry. And I got my Bob Ross guy. He's chilling out up here. He's my favorite, my inspiration for painting. If you guys, I'm sure most of you guys have already checked out Bob Ross at some point, but definitely, if you want some really relaxing, inspirational paint vibes, definitely check him out. He's fantastic. Hi, Julia. Thanks for joining us and watching. I'm just gonna grab my water as this paint dries. Oh, there we go. And then once it's starting to get there, literally we're watching paint dry. It's like watching a kettle boil. La la. It's gonna take a little bit. Make sure you're hydrated. Make sure you keep the water or the liquids you're drinking away from the water that you're using to clean your brushes, because that is very gross. If you mix them up, not happy, not happy. All right, still a little wet. Still want it to wait a little bit more. I might end up starting it a little bit earlier than I want to, just because I don't want you guys to have to watch me fan my canvas until it dries. I'm starting to. Yeah, earlier today we had some technical issues, so that my canvas dried pretty quick because I had to switch over from my laptop recording everything to my phone, and it was a bit of an ordeal. But this time my phone is working quite well, and I've abandoned my laptop for now because it is not my friend. Okay, yeah, so it's starting to get dry. You'll see that it's starting to get dry because you can literally see it, like the wetness glistens, and then as it dries, it just becomes more of a matte finish on it. All right, cool. I'm excited to do this. So I'm gonna start thinking about where I want this peacock to go. Now, again, the image that we have, it is more of a square shot. So wherever I end up putting the peacock, since this is a bit of a bigger one, I'll probably continue more of his peacock feathers a bit further out on it, because I still want it to fill my entire canvas. So I think I'm probably gonna place him, like his neck's gonna go about there. I have nothing on my brush right now. I'm just playing around where I want him. So he's probably gonna go around here. That's kind of where I'm thinking. So just if you're waiting for your canvas to dry as well, kind of start just plotting out where you want him to go. So I want his head to kind of be close-ish to the top. So I want the head to kind of land about there, right? I want his body, so he's gonna come out, and his body's gonna go at least to like the middle of the canvas here, and it's gonna come around. So that's where I'm gonna place him. And the shapes are pretty easy. When we start doing this guy as well, what I always suggest is whenever we're blocking something in with a very prominent color, so the blue's gonna be very dark and it's gonna be hard to cover up, basically, if it is a bit off. You want to start thinner, and then you just want to like make him wider or bigger as you keep going. So we'll start a little thinner, and then we'll just add it and make him a little bit bulkier as we go. I think with him, I'm actually going to use my medium-sized brush to plot him in. This brush, actually, I broke it in half, so fun fact. All right, I think you guys have heard me talk enough, so I think we're going to start to plot him in. All right, so what I'm going to do is my brush is actually pretty dry. I was using it earlier, but it's pretty dry. I'm going to wet it just slightly. And when I say wet it slightly, like just so the bristles are like a little bit wet when I do this, I feel like they're wet on my hand. I use my hands a lot and they get covered in paint, but nothing like so it's dripping. Like I don't want a lot of water on it. And then I'm going to get my Peacock blue. And I'm going to put quite a bit on my brush like that. And we're going to start putting him in. So I want the neck to be here and I want him to be curved. So I'm going to plot in where I want his neck to be. So his neck's going to be there. Okay. And then his body's going to come around. My head in the way? A little bit, eh? It's still going to be in the way. Okay, hold on. Wow. Like that. Okay. Okay. I think my head's not in the way anymore. Sorry if it is. It's hard for me to pay attention to that end of this. So we're just going to have him come around, and I want it to come to kind of the middle of my canvas. And it's going to come up. Okay, and I may want it to come further out, actually. Okay, so I think I want it to actually come a little bit more. And then I'm going to bring this up because I want his head to be here. Okay, and his head's just a circle. And again, start smaller than what you would want, and then you can always make him bigger if you want to. There's his neck. I'm just gonna try. Oof. Sometimes your brush betrays you. Okay. So the neck's a little thinner, and then as you get to the body, it gets a little thicker. And you have his body. And then once you kind of have where you want him to live, where his body's going to be, you just fill him all in with your blue paint. Color it all in. Now if your paint's still wet on your canvas, you're gonna, so mine was a little bit wet, so I'm starting to see me pull some of the background into it. And that's what I was trying to avoid by waiting. So if that happens, it's okay. We can still fix it as it dries. We can put another coat on him. I want the line to be pretty straight. Okay, there we go. Okay, so just take a look and see if that's where you like your peacock guy. Hi, Shauna. Oh, I'm glad you and your daughter are going to be doing these later. I want to see your paintings though, so please make sure you post them. Okay, so right now it's not going to give me a very thick, opaque look yet. That's okay. Just get that first coat on and then we'll end up putting another coat once it dries and then it'll make it a little bit more opaque. Okay, so don't stress about that. Coolios? Okay. Kind of looks like a weird arm flexing. Or other weird things, I suppose. Okay, so awesome. So let's start playing with, what should we do next? I think since we're happy with that, let's do the tail. And what I want to do the tail with is I want to get a green, like a light green. So I'm just mixing some yellow on my brush, which is already blue. And I have a green forming here. I'm just getting more yellow as I'm going because I want it to be lighter. Okay. I'm just trying to get some of the blue off my brush. I'm going to get some white and add it to. So I'm just getting a light green, mixing that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start doing some of those, where his tail is, essentially. Now do I want to use, I feel like this brush might betray me as well. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to get my thinner brush, because I think this brush is going to be too thick and it's not going to give me the lines I want. Okay, so I'm just moving to my thinner brush. So I'm going to start doing, basically, kind of starting on the top here is going to be like little bumps. And it's going to come all around. The one in our inspiration image, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's like 9. But basically you want them to be pretty even. You want them to kind of start just before the top of the bump of his butt, I guess. And then you want it to continue to just here. So you still want his legs to come down here. You still want quite a bit of space between there. And then you want it to stop. So you kind of want to stop about there and you kind of want to start about there. Okay? So that's what we're going to be looking at. If it veers from that, it's totally fine too. Just have like an idea of what you want. So I'm going to put some paint on my, maybe it's that greenish color I made. And I'm using my thin brush just to have a bit more control over it. Okay. And just going to kind of give it, and I'm doing it in a green because I'm going to be putting more details onto it once it dries. Okay, so we're just going to put like little, almost like an N shape, and I'm just going to color them in. Little bumps all around. Okay, and you want them to be pretty solid, so just try to make them about the same shape around. If your paint is not spreading very well, put a little bit of water on your brush and then you'll be able to have a bit more control over the spreading of it. But just make sure it doesn't get, if you put too much water on your brush, what will happen is it might drip down your painting. So be cautious of that. One of my other videos I did live, I did that, and I mean, it's a fun thing to try to fix. So it can challenge your ability, which is cool. Okay. And if some of the blue goes in, like mine just went in there, that's fine. I'm not gonna worry about that. And if it's easier for you, like you can maneuver your painting around. You don't need to keep it in the one spot. I'm trying to keep it similar so you guys can see what I'm doing. But feel free to like hold the canvas upside down or on your lap or whatever works for you. Okay. I am actually going to be flipping this around. Sorry, guys. He kind of looks like a dinosaur right now. That's kind of funny. Get some more water. Acrylic paint dries really quickly, so even the paint on your board might actually dry pretty quickly. So you might just need some water just to bring some life back into the paint. But you don't want to thin the paint out too much because you want it to be opaque. It's a balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have already way more than our inspiration painting, but I'm still gonna keep going because I'm liking it. I think it's looking good. Okay, I'm gonna put one more, and then I think perhaps I will be done with these little bumpies for now. Okay. Well, isn't he delightful? Beautiful. So I did notice I did make it a little bit, like, sorry, I put a little bit too much water on my brush, so some of them aren't as opaque as the other ones. Once it dries, I might just go over it again just to make sure that it's opaque. So you want to let this guy dry pretty well. With the same color, I'm going to start, or maybe I want it a bit lighter. Yeah, I might actually do it a little bit lighter than that. I'm going to start putting in where I want my peacock feathers to be, okay? Because that kind of gives me the idea, because after this, we're going to end up putting, we're going to get these decorated, obviously, and then we're going to put a black line around it to finish it, so it's going to come out a little bit more, and then we're going to have our lovely peacock feathers, the eyes all over, which will look so pretty. Okay. I'm totally feel like it looks like a dinosaur. It has like this dinosaur vibe going on. It's great. Okay, cool. It's making me laugh. Okay, so I'm just going to make this green a little bit lighter, and the way I'm doing it is I'm just putting a little bit more yellow into the existing blue and yellow mix and white mix that I did. So I'm just putting a bit more yellow into it because I almost want it to have a little bit more brightness to it. And I'm going to use this color to for the peacock eyes. I'm going to get a bit of water, and I just dip my brush right in the water. You can kind of see the water dripping off there. I don't know if you can because it might be a bit far, but I'm just mixing that just so it's a little bit thinner. Okay, so when it's the consistency you want, let's think about where we want these eyes. So we have one, so okay, so the way the picture is, there's basically like one about here, another one about here, and we kind of just play with them. And then wherever you put the first layer, the next layer kind of goes in between that first layer. So if you have two that are like this, then the third one's gonna go in the middle. So that's the pattern that we wanna go with. But we wanna give them some breathing room as well. Like they're not gonna go super close together because we also wanna put the black line, and we're also gonna put some lovely like little swoops in there to make it look even prettier. Okay, so this one here is going to be here. And I'm just going to make kind of a swoopy line. Ugh, It's nuts. It's bothering me because it's not being as smooth as I want it to be on that paintbrush. That's okay. Okay. This is where this one's going to be. And I'm just using the same color as I used there, only I put a little bit more yellow into it to make it a bit brighter. And again, these ones are going to be very opaque as well. So I'm coming into a point. Okay. Pretty. Yeah, I like it. Okay. I need to make this a little bit thinner again. Okay, everyone doing good so far? I know it's so hard for you guys to interact with me when you're doing it. Something I hate the most about this. It'd be great if I could hear your voices. Okay, so I'm gonna put another one here. Okay. There we go. Cool. That one looks like a lemon to me. Great, I have a dinosaur and I have a lemon. That's exactly what we're trying to paint today. Secret painting, dinosaurs and lemons. Okay. And I would totally normally have music going on as well, but there's like different types of copyright issues that you can't play certain music or else all the sound gets, like they turn it off on your videos. So I feel like that would be bad if they took the sound off because that's kind of the point of us doing this together. So unfortunately, I don't have anything. Hopefully you guys have some music going on in your space. So you have something nice and inspiring in the background instead of just my voice, which is questionable how inspiring that is. Okay, put another one here. Coolio. Okay, I'm gonna put, like, I know again my painting, this is a bit bigger than what we have there, so I'm gonna put another one here where there isn't one on the original because it's a square shape, and this one mine is not a square, it's a rectangle shape canvas. So it is, mine's gonna call for one more over here. They just look like lemons to me. Aw, thank you, Lindsay. You're so sweet. Honestly, all you guys coming on and painting with me is like, makes me feel so, so, so happy. It's so special. So thank you guys. My foot's falling asleep. I tend to like always sit down cross-legged when I paint, and I feel like now being 38 is probably a time for me to stop doing that because my body is like, no, your foot's asleep now. It's like, you're not young anymore. Your body does not want to be cross-legged on the floor while you paint for an hour. Ugh. But I refuse to accept it. I still do it all the time. How are your lemons looking, guys? That was a weird thing to say. Alright, so, okay, let's see. Where is the next one going? I guess another one's going to come here, and it's going to kind of go off the page. Maybe I'll just leave that for now. I'm digging this. I don't know how you guys are feeling about it, but I'm really loving it. Okay, so I think I'm going to put another guy over here. Where is this face going to go? How is this? Okay, hold on. Let me think. So he, or she, I don't know, probably he has like a beak that comes out over here. So yeah, I can totally put another feather here. Get some more water going. I feel like this painting is pretty easy, but it's so precise that it's going to take us a good amount of time to finish it. And then we also have to wait before you can continue with other aspects of it, like for things to dry fully. So it's like easy, but definitely time consuming. But I also feel really calm doing this one. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but this one is very like, huh. I'm really digging it. And don't be shy about using like quite a bit of paint here, because again, you want it to be opaque. At the same time, like the more or the thicker the paint you apply on one layer, the longer it will take to dry. Just like nail polish. You want to do, if you can do thin layers for this particular painting, then it kind of works better, and then you can just apply like a second coat to it so that you have a nice opaque finish. But if you want it to, but you can do also thick too, and it'll just take a bit longer to dry. Since we want it to be more flat, it kind of works nicer this way. Okay. Yeah, I'm loving this guy. He is, I think, one of my favorites. Okay, and I'm not even done yet. Okay, I think I'm gonna put like 2 here somehow, I think. Because again, I'm kind of going off book a bit because I don't have reference to what we want to do. So I'm going to do one here. I don't like the way that line looks or feels. Awesome. Perfect. Okay, let's do another one. I want to put another one right here. So just kind of go with whatever canvas that you're using and see how you want to put these peacock, I guess, are they eyes? There are feathers on the, I don't know, I've heard them, it's like, not eye, obviously the eye of the peacock, obviously, but like the eyes of the feathers? I'm not sure. I don't know much about the different anatomy of birds and plants and and flowers. I like colors and shapes, and I'm really good at colors and shapes, but not so much about the names of what I'm painting. So I'll leave that up to anyone else who's on here who's more of a trivia, who knows more about animals and are expert in those types of things. Okay, so let's put another one here. And depending on the size of canvas you're using, so if you're using, right now, like my canvas is an 8x10 like canvas board, but like if you're using like if you're doing a really big one, like an 11x17, this is gonna take you longer to do. So just keep that in mind. If you feel like you're you know, if it's like you feel like you're not slacking, but like you're going too slow or something, don't feel that way. It really just depends on really how comfortable you are with the style, how your paint's flowing, and also the size of the canvas is a big deal. Okay, so I think, do I want to move this around a bit? I think I will. I want to get over here. Okay, I'm going to put one like up here. I just want to see what else is happening with his head. Okay, I want to put one like here. Am I in the way? Okay, no. Okay, it's a little bit too green for me. So this is like whenever you make a color, it's tricky because especially with acrylic, it does dry very quickly. So you need to make enough of it, I guess, for what you want, but sometimes you don't really know how much you're gonna need. So the great thing is like this is just made from like a yellow and a blue. So when I took some more of it, it kind of was a bit too dark. So all I did was just add a bit of yellow directly onto my canvas and paint it and blend it in, and it worked nicely. Okay. Ba-dum. I think I want one like here. It's gonna go off the page. That's good. Yeah, I like that guy there too. Okay, dokies. And then we want to put, one's gonna come over. I'm gonna come right over here. Keep in mind, for every peacock feather eye thing that we do, we're gonna have to outline it in black. It's gonna take lots of time and patience with this guy, but it's gonna be so worth it at the end. It's gonna look so amazing. I'm gonna put another one here, I think. I'm enjoying these ones that are going off of the board. I like them. Okay. How pretty. Oh my gosh, this is making me so happy looking at it. It's not even done yet. Yeah, I think I might be done putting these guys in. Yeah, I think I am. Cool. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back and I'm going to just go over my peacock again because I want him to be, again, more opaque. It's totally optional. If you like the way your brush strokes look in it, do you. I want it to be a bit more opaque. So I'm going to just go back over with my peacock blue. I'm using my medium brush. That's what I used earlier. And I'm just going over it just to make it a little bit more opaque. There's still going to be some brush lines, and that's fine. I just don't want it, I want it to be less brush lines, basically, than what already. So you guys can see this all right. like that more. So now it just has, it's just more full blue. Yeah, perfect. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Okay, cool. So now that I have him nicely done, I want to work on the detail on the tail. Detail on the tail. Okay, I'm going to use my thin brush again. So now this is fully dry because I took a lot of time doing that. Actually, that's a really good thing about this painting. There's a lot of detail, but as you're doing one thing, the other parts are drying, which is fantastic. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to add a full white circle on every bump that I have created. That is what we're going to do together. There we go. Thin brush, white paint. I just put a little dot, and then I'm just going to spread it out and make it a little bigger. Again, start small to get bigger, or else you could run into a problem of it overtaking. And just make it however you want it to be. So I think I'm going to make mine like that. So there's still a nice green line. You can still see the line around it. Okay. Boop-a-doo. Let's do the same thing here. Can you still see? I think. No, that's like 2D. Nah, that's what we got. Yeah. This actually just reminded me of something. A long time ago, I used to work at Rogers Video, and I used to work at the one in Toronto on the Danforth, and we would always participate in Taste of the Danforth, so that big festival that happens down there. For a few years, I offered like free face painting at the festival. And I remember, so there was always like really great requests. And I'm not a face painter, and I don't, even though I do this, I don't consider myself like a quote unquote like real artist. I just do this as a hobby, and I really love it, and I love to share it with you guys. But yeah, so it wasn't like I had super training. I was just doing the best I could. So I had some good ones. I was pretty impressed with a lot of it. And, we're doing like Spider-Man faces and like lots of things like that. And then, this one little boy came up, and, he was like kind of quiet and stuff, but like maybe like, I don't know, 6 or something. And, I asked him what he wanted, and he said a white circle on my cheek. And I was like, excuse me? And so he said it again, a white circle on my cheek. And I was like, do you want like anything like else with it? No, just a white circle on my cheek. And so I did. I gave him a white circle on his cheek. It was the weirdest request. I don't know why. I don't know if he just really liked snowballs or white circles, or I don't know. It was so strange. But yeah. Kind of random. Just made me think of that as I'm drawing all these like white circles on this peacock tail. Such a weird thing. Okay, so I'm almost done doing each of those. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just looking back to see if I want to adjust any of them, but I think I'm pretty good. I don't think I want to. We'll keep that as is. Super D duper. All right, so now we're gonna make more white circles. See, you know, that kid actually trained me for this moment. So yeah, so we're gonna put a white circle in the middle, make them look like eyeballs. Okay, so okay. Cool, and all these have dried, so how fantastic. So these circles are going to be fairly big, because you're still going to put in 2 more circles after this is done on each of these. Some water. My white's already getting kind of thick because it's been out too long. So I'm trying to keep them similar in size, but that's not happening all the time, and that's okay. I think it's actually okay with some variation on this one here. Okay. Awesome. Okay. I hope yours are all coming along nicely. Hope you're enjoying this. I feel like this is like a time where on like a professionally made video we would like do like a time lapse, and then you would like, oh, now everything's complete. Now let's continue on. I don't have that. I couldn't do that even if I wanted to. Okay, so I'll turn this around. I can get it in here. So I've been on this Facebook group called View from My Window, and it's pretty cool. It's basically like people from around the world are sharing pictures of what their view is from their window. So it's really neat. And so there's some absolutely beautiful views. So I don't know who's like moderating it. Sometimes they do actually show some some kind of sad views as well, which I was kind of like, well, that's good, because not everyone can have like these palatial, you know, backyards that have fountains and stuff. So some of those seem a little bit annoying. So those kind of bug me. But at the same time, there's been a really good. I've been inspired quite a bit from looking at that site. And what I was thinking for next week as our inspiration, I think instead of looking at images, like paintings that have already been made, I was thinking of maybe using some of those images, like some pictures of like actual pictures. So we could pick like a couple pictures and we could decide on which of those pictures we're going to try to create in a painting. So that's my idea. I think that'll be pretty fun. So I'm going to take a look and pick some that are still pretty like nothing too crazy, because I don't want to be too nuts, but something that we can absolutely create together, and I think that'd be really fun. Oh yeah, see, I like how much darker that blue is. How proud is that peacock? My goodness. All right, so I want to get some, yeah, that's already dry. Okay, so we're going to get light blue in the circles there. Do I want light blue? I feel like I kind of want to go off book and put like pink or something. That might be crazy, but also might be kind of fun. Dun dun dun. All right, I'm going to try and see. If I don't like the pink, then I'm going to go over another thing. So you can either, to stick with the way the original image looks, you want to mix a little bit of blue, dark blue, into your white to get like a light blue. Otherwise, you can go crazy like me, and I'm going to get my Tutti Frutti pink, and I'm going to put circles inside here, because I decided pink's my new friend today. Oh yeah, I'm digging the pink. That's happening. The way I'm doing the circles, like these little ones, are I'm just kind of putting my brush down, and then I'm just moving it slightly, and then it's just creating a circle, and I don't have to do much. And it's pretty thick, but I'm not doing anything else with these, so that's fine. It can be thick paint at this point, because I don't need to paint over it or anything. Yeah. Yahoo! Yeah, I'm really happy I did that. That bright pink, super fun. Yeah, I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, and now that's making me think if I want to do pink circles instead of blue circles, and I just am not sure. I don't know. No, maybe we'll stick to the book and do blue. We'll still continue with peacock blue. That's cool. That's good. I might add some pink after, because I don't think I'm going to be able to help myself, because I'm really digging this. It reminds, like, when I was little, the colors I always pick for my, like, pencil crayon box. I don't know if you guys had, like, Laurentian pencil crayons. And my favorite was, like, the peacock blue. And then there was this, like, bright pink color like that. I forgot what it was called now. But it was, like, my favorite. And then the purple. Those three were, like, my favorite. Oh, nice. Yeah. So you are, yeah. So Carol's with me on the pink. I appreciate that. I kind of feel like I want to do them in pink, but I'm also thinking if I put pink, then it might be too much into the background. So I think I am going to go with the peacock blue to do the circles on these, but then I might add some bright pink to it after. We'll see. So yeah, so I'm going to start doing my dark blue circle in all of my feathery eyes. So I'm getting my blue on my light brush. And this circle is still pretty big. There's still a good rim of white on it, so just keep that in mind. So Okay. So you still got to put another layer on top of this. We're going to put the black dots on this, so just keep that in mind too when you're doing the blue part. I feel like that was a little bit wet still, that one. That one was a trap. Kind of light. Damn it. Darn it! Oh, I feel like it's still lifting off the white as I'm painting. It's okay, we'll go with it. If it becomes a little bit lighter, that's fine. Maybe we need to let it dry and then we'll put a little bit more of dark blue on it if we need to. Yeah, like it's, yeah, my paintbrush is pretty light. It's not so good. Okay. Okay, so let's just continue putting these blue dots. I'm an expert in white dots, not blue dots. Yeah, it's like lifting it off. I'm just gonna clean off my brush and try with just dark, just the blue. See if maybe it's better. I feel like I'm holding my breath every time I'm painting those two. So watch yourself if you're doing the same thing. Breathe, people, breathe. Still wet, and that's totally gonna make it light, but I'm gonna go for it. And if it makes it light blue, it makes it light blue. We'll change it afterwards. Shoot. I did it to myself. Yeah, it's a bit too light for me. For my liking. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna redo that one for sure. And there's some other light ones that are not really what I want. That's okay, we'll leave that as such for now. Alrighty, what is next? Wow, it's been an hour already. This painting is going to take some time. So this is definitely not a 1 hour show. I think this one's gonna be closer to 2, to be honest. Okay, cool. If it does take too long, of course, this live will still be here. So if you end up wanting to like watch it later or pausing it, like I totally get it, because this is taking some time, guys. All right. So let's see. What shall we do next? Okay. Well, I think we should start putting in some of the feeling in the background. I think that can work nicely. Let's do it. Yeah. So in the background of this painting, there's some nice little swoops of color, and it brings in all the colors from the Peacock here. So we're going to use the blue, we're going to use some greens, we're going to use some light blues, and just kind of have like nice strokes, and they're very like one color strokes to kind of emphasize this, to make it look really fun and bright and beautiful. So I'm going to use my thin brush with my bright blue paint, and I'm just going to add some color around it. I think I'm going to start here. So I'm going to basically, so I'm going to start thin and kind of go with the shape of the peacock eye and bring it out. There's my first line. A little thick, that's okay. Okay, I'm just going to make sure these are smooth as I'm going. So I'm going to just put another one here. Okay. I'm going to bring another one like this. I don't like how that line. Ah! Okay. Even some black lines in there too. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So there seems to be brighter blue along the exterior. So there's not so much bright blue lines on the interior. So let's keep that in mind as we're putting these lines in. So they're kind of going into a point. Okay, so I think I'm gonna have to move this around a little bit to have a bit more control of my line. Because when it feathers off like that, it like drives me crazy. I want it to be pretty smooth here. Not cooperating with me. Okay. Okay, a lot, so I'm coming in here. Okay. Where else do we want some of these darker blue ones? I think I'm gonna put one. I don't know. Okay. We're gonna put one here on the side. I think this brush has too much paint on it and it's going to betray me when I try paint. Smoother, but it's a little watery. But I do feel like that has more control over it. I'm putting a few lines of this blue. We're gonna go in with more colors and add more of these lines around this painting. I don't think I'm digging this actually. I'll just go like this. And then turn it upside down. So I want these lines to kind of go. I'm just making my blue a little bit waterier because it's pretty dry. Okay. Oh, I don't want to get too close to the feet, and I might just have done that with that line. Okay, how are we liking the blue lines? I think I might be okay with, I kind of want to put a blue line there, but I'm not going to yet. Not yet. I think I want to put another line here. Yeah, that's where I want one. And I think I want another one here. Yes, I do. There we go. Yeah. I like it. This is working for me. Okay. Let's get rid of that blue. Do, 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 do. Hope all you guys are enjoying this. All right, so my blue is still pretty wet, so I'm not gonna go in and put the dots in yet because I don't wanna mess that up. So why don't we go and do some of his face here. So what we need is white because this is nice and dry. It's been dry for a little while now. And so on his things, we have his beak. So we're gonna be using, it's kind of like it looks like it's white paint to me, but you may want to put like a touch of yellow in it unless your background is a really bright yellow, and then you may not want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to get white paint and I'm going to put in his beak. Okay. Oh my god. Ugh. Okay. Yeah. So his beak is going to live here. And it's going to come down a little bit. We're still going to be outlining it in black. Very scared about that, to be honest. I feel like that's going to be like a make or break. Things could end up looking really bad. The black gets a little bit out of hand. But it's also going to make it pop. It's going to look really great. Whenever something's a little scary, it's always a good thing. Okay, so there is our lovely beak. Okay, so we're going to continue using our white on our thin brush, or whichever brush, honestly, whichever brush you have the most control over. If your thicker brush actually gives you a bit more control over it, use that. Oh, Carol's been converted to the blue. There we go. And blue does look pretty good, right? Yeah, I like the pink too, but I think the blue's gonna look neat because it's already pink on the background. But I might still add some bright pink. I don't know. I'm really digging that Tutti Frutti pink, so we'll see. Okay, so what we want to do is, basically this line's going to be from where the beak is. It's going to come up, circle, and come down. If I had a pen, I would be able to do that no problem. With this paint and this paintbrush, we shall see what happens. But we are going to do with the best darnest that we can do. Okay, so I think I kind of want to turn it a bit so I can get a good angle on it. How can I do it so I can still kind of show you what I'm doing? Okay, so I want to start, yeah, you guys can kind of see that. Okay, I'm going to start here and I'm going to go up. We're going to curve a bit. And how far are we going down? We're going right down and we're going around. Okay, there we go. Oh, this line's gonna bug me. Okay, sorry, can you see that? Yeah, perfect. Okay, good. Kind of. I know it's still kind of hard to see, but I need need to put this down so it's a little more stable so I can have a tad bit more control over it. I think I might have made it a little bit too watery, but it is making it a little easier for me to handle it. And okay. All right, there is the white curve thing on his face. Neat. The white is a little thin, so again, I'm going to let it dry, and then I think I'm going to go over it again with white now that I have my baseline of where I want it to live, which is good. I'm not going to do his top feathery thing until we are done doing everything we want to do in the background, because we're still going to be putting some more in the background, and that's going to get in our way. So I don't want to do that yet. And I don't think I'm going to do his eye yet either. I think I'm going to wait until we're in our black zone to get that eye in. Okay, so these blue dots are still pretty wet, so I'm not going to do that yet either. So I think we should still continue putting in some more different colors in the background. So I'm going to go back to that greeny, which is like super dry at this point. So my yellow, I need to get a little bit of blue and make this kind of greeny color again. There's a couple, yeah, some of it's a little bit light, some of it's a little bit dark. I need to get more water. Okay. So that kind of greeny, yellowy color. Okay, and we're gonna put some more lines in to give that effect. This color is actually more, you can notice it more in the inside. So there's lighter colors here, and it gets darker on the perimeter. So let's put in some of these colors here. So there's some nice, I feel like I'm gonna touch something I'm not supposed to. Okay, so we're just gonna go like, ooh. There's a nice little color. Okay. There we go. Ooh, that line. Don't like that one. That's better. So I'm just gonna put some around. So I'm gonna move this around as I'm painting, just to get some more. I feel like I just gave that guy an eyebrow. That's what it looks like. Okay. Okay, so you just want to kind of put in these lines. The more you put in, the better it's going to look. So we're going to just keep going with this color and have fun with it. Let's see, I'm gonna put some of this here too, and this blue, close to that blue, yeah, do that. Remembering we're still gonna be outlining those in black. Am I like fully covering it? No, you can see on it. Okay. Okay, and I want to get some down there as well. So I'm gonna flip it like that so I can get that in here. Okay, so I think I'm going to move on to a different color in a moment and continue putting this in the background too. So the key really to these lines is just as long as your paintbrush, you're able to move it gracefully, I guess, on your canvas. So you just need to make sure there's enough water and the paint isn't dry, then you'll be able to get some nice smooth lines out of here. And then that will kind of give it a nice feel. I think there's still some green in here too. We'll do that. It's a little thicker. Cool. Coolios. Okay. Let's, do I want it to be darker green, or do I want to go into like a blue or like a yellow? You know what? I'm going to bring out the yellow. We're going to add some yellow little lines like we just did with the green to make it pop. Wow. Great. You guys are still with me. There's still like 15 people watching. That's great. This is a long painting. I'm really enjoying it. I hope you guys are too. I actually don't mind that it's taking this. I'm really loving the way it's looking. Okay, so I'm going to get some yellow and put some in here. Into here. So I'm adding a bit of yellow to, or more yellow to the kind of the center where it was a bit lighter. And I might have put a little bit on the outside too. I'm not sure yet. I'll put some of these lines in here. Definitely need to be a little bit more waterier. But again, not too much. Water's your friend, but if you put too much of it, it will drip, 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 drip. Or it'll be too thin, and you want it to be opaque enough so you can really see what's going on. This one thicker here, and we come out. Yeah. Yeah, I'm liking the yellow in here. I think it's looking really pretty. Cool. So I'm just kind of following the curves of like the bird and the lines that are already on here. Yeah, I really like the yellow. The yellow is making me really happy about this. Oh my goodness. So the more lines you put, like, as you continue, like, it really makes it pop, and it's really exciting. Oh, just wait till you get the black. Again, the black's gonna be like my favorite and also like the scariest part, because it's gonna look so freaking good when we get the black in, but it's also gonna be a bit of a heart attack. How when we're doing it, well, at least for me anyways. So pretty. Okay, let's throw in some yellow on these lines here. Ah! Sorry, I need to fix that line. It's like uneven. It's like on top of another line, but nope, 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 nope. Can't handle that. Okay, I'll pick up this painting in one moment. Okay. Yeah, you want to do it like, how do I want to do this? So I have stability while still letting you see what I'm doing. Okay. Not stability, but you can see it a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit more yellow. Some lines in. This is like a testament to your stamina in painting today. This is what we're testing today. How long can you, how much patience do you have? And we have lots of time in this self-isolation, but how long can you do this one task? Yeah, I'm glad my son didn't join me in this one. I think he would lose his mind. He'd be like, okay, this is ridiculous. This is taking way too long. Oh my god! I love it. I love it so much, guys. This is so much fun. I freaking love it. Yeah, this is so pretty. Okay, I want to put in, I want to do some light blue as well. So let's do that. Actually, I probably will need some water. I need to get some blue. So I'm just mixing some of my blue into my white to get a light blue. Get more white so it spreads nice and evenly. What time is it? 3:30. Okay. Not bad, not bad, not bad. I mean, I'm happy with the work we've done. Hope you guys are as well. Okay, so let's get some of this light blue in to make it pop. Some light blue right in here. Nice. Oh, so pretty. So kind of look at your painting, and depending on the lines that you've already created, just keep adding some more lines in different colors. Try to make sure that you aren't putting too much of one color in one area. The only kind of guide really I'm following is I just kept darker blue on the perimeter, not really so much in the perimeter in the middle. And I think it's working quite well. Oh, I'm loving this light blue. This is where it's at. Ooh, totally touched wet paint. Happens every time. Ah, pretty back, sweet watery, cautious. Awesome. Okay. Ah! Canvas board. Almost looks iridescent. Cool. Okay. Wow, 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 wow. We didn't put any around this guy. I put a little bit around him. I'm just adding some more. I'm just going with the shape again and just kind of going with the pattern of it. So just keep doing it up. I'm gonna go back on this side and put a little bit of light blue onto this side. I'm just flipping it upside down so I can have some control over how it's going to flow. Okay. Add a little bit of this Peacock bright blue to here. Little areas. Yeah, that light blue is so pretty. All right. Very nice. Okay, cool. Then I'm just gonna put a little bit of this light blue on top of the dark blue too. I feel like the dark blue is very strong, and I want it just to be a little bit diluted. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So by this point, those dark blue circles best be done. So let's go in and let's put in the black circles in each of these spots. So again, your brush is gonna dab. If you have like a Q-tip as well, that could work really well in putting the circles in and dabbing it and then making it a pretty even circle. So keep that in mind, or if you have one, if you haven't started yet, do that. Or try that. Or paintbrushes being a bit of a pain. That can work nicely. Beautiful. All right, so let's put in his eyeball. So his eye is gonna be here. So just black to start, and once that dries, we're gonna put a little dot of white in there. And then why don't we now, I think we're still gonna do the black around those, but I think what we can do is let's place in those little things on his head, whatever they're called. So we have a line here, here. Ooh, not so smooth. Okay, and then it's kind of like dark blue and then white, so we'll do that in a moment. So that's kind of where the lines are. Ugh, that last line was a little too thick for me. That's okay. Live and learn. Maybe make these a little thicker and they won't look as bad. We'll see. Be like when you do mascara and you do one eye and then one eye ends up being a little bit off from the other eye, and then you keep fixing it until it's just like a big blob. That might happen here. That's fine. We'll leave it like that. Okay, cool. I'm gonna pop in his little leggies. So his one leg's gonna come here. Oh, it's hard for me to do that because it kind of stops. Sorry, let me just do it flat so I can have a bit more control over what's happening. Okay. His little legs. Dot dot. Cool. So the next step is we need to outline everything, and that is going to take a very long time. I do also want to touch up the white around his eye because it's not super opaque and I want that to be. And I also want to do that little fluffy thing on his head. So before I start doing all the outlines, what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to put in a few black lines because some on the outside here, there are some black lines. So I'm going to do that as well. I'll add that in right now. I want to put one there, to be honest. Maybe I'm just going to leave it more at the bottom. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. And then maybe I'll put one, I don't know, I feel like I'm going to ruin it. Okay. I think I'm leaving it like that. Okay. Yeah, okay, I think I'm going to start trying to do some of the outlines, but I feel like I'm going to get really annoyed about them. And I don't know if I want to be recorded doing it and getting really frustrated. So we'll see. I'll start it off, and then if it gets a little annoying, I'll just be like, okay, you guys could do it on your own. No. All right, so let's start doing some of the outlines. Oh, I shouldn't have maybe done that because now I have nowhere to put my hand. So the key to the outline is you want to make sure you have very smooth black paint. So put black paint, make sure you put some water in it, not too much, and make sure your paint your brush is nicely covered in it. And that will then give you a thin outline. Can you guys see that? Yeah, okay, I'm still in frame. That's good. There's one. Yay! It looks really good when it's done. Okay, there's two. We have two. There we go. Yeah, looks good. Okay. So on the market too, you also can buy paint markers. So if anyone has a paint marker, that's a really good cheat for doing some nice paint lines that you would have a lot more control of than using your brush. So that's always an option too. I have some Sharpie oil-based paint markers and they are fantastic. Okay, let's see, I'm gonna do it this way. Some are going to be thicker than others. That is fine. Try not to put my hand, because some of the black circles on the middle are a little wet still. So I just don't want to smear them, especially black. I don't want to smear. Yeah, it's looking really nice with the line, eh? Cool. Yeah, and Carol, yeah, it is good just to like take a break from it as well. So we have been painting for almost 2 hours now. So if you're feeling a little, like it's a bit much, again, this is a live video, but you can watch it later. So you can step away from it, do your own thing, come back a little bit later and finish it up if you want to. This is much longer than any other of the live videos that I've done. Okay, I'm going to just turn this around, see if you can see what I'm doing, and then I'm just going to do another line here on this guy. Curves that always get me. They're not easy to do at times. There you go. It's turning out pretty nice. You can still see me. Cool. Okay. Well, that one was a lot easier to do. Sometimes you get into like a nice flow with your hand and it works out really nice. Okay, let's see. If I do this, maybe that will work. It's actually working a lot smoother than I anticipated, so I'm pretty happy about that. Okay. Nice. Those are looking so pretty. How are they looking for you guys? Are you guys happy with it? You don't have to respond right now if you don't want, if you can't, because you're in the middle of it. That's totally cool. But please let me know how you guys are enjoying it. I feel like putting the black line on it is really making it pop, which is what I thought it would do, but when you see it, you're like, whew, kind of cool. It's pretty, I don't know, it always surprises me how something like a painting like this, where it's very, like, to me, very cartoon-like, takes so much time and a lot of skill, just like a painting that might look a little bit more realistic, you know? I love that about it. Ah, that was a little much. Okay. Honestly, I just feel like I'm doing eyeliner. Which honestly, if you judge how I'm doing some of this eyeliner, you'd be like, ooh. Reasons why I am not a makeup artist. Oh, good, Lindsay. I'm glad you're loving it. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, I think the pink background really made it pop. I'm really happy with it, too. I'm curious to see how your guys' turned out, if you guys went with pink or if you stuck with blue, and how it's all coming together. I feel like I need to put this down. Okay. Okay. If you guys can't see me for a little bit, I'm sorry. I just need to put this down on a flat surface so I can get these outlines down. I'm so curious to see yours too, Alex, because I know you use watercolors whenever we do these painting sessions. So I'm really curious to see how yours is looking. A little too thick. Awesome. There's my guy upside down. I'm gonna do one more here. Oh, awesome, Carol. I'm glad you think so. I don't know why I feel like that. But yeah, I'm loving the pattern. The pattern is so fun. Ah, I totally just put my finger in it. Actually, it worked out okay because my finger went like bang onto the line, so it didn't really affect it too much. Okay, you can't see this at all, but I'm just gonna do this next line on this guy here. I'm so curious if people who are really good at doing like eyeliner, if any of you guys are on there that you're like a pro at doing eyeliner, if your lines are actually coming out like really good. I'm really curious because that's what I'm feeling. I'm like, I should have practiced more when I wore eyeliner. Kept more of a steady hand. Not that I was using like a paintbrush, but you know. Okay. So now we got to outline our bird. Bird. Bird is the word. Okay, where do I want to start with the bird? I feel like I should do the beak first so my hand doesn't go on top of something else and like ruin it. So, okay. Sorry guys, I'm doing the beak of it, but I'm just going to keep it flat just so I can get the line in. I'm just going to do the same outline on the bottom beak. So there I just outlined the beak. Bird beak, and then he actually kind of does have a liner that follows a bit of the white around his eye. I'm just gonna line it up a little bit to give him some definition. Prettiest bird everywhere. There we go. So I just put a liner around his eye as well. I use the opposite end of the paintbrush. Ooh, so smart, Lindsay. Yeah, that's smart. You know what? I haven't actually put that white in yet, so I might do the same thing. If you use the that part of your paintbrush, the end, you'll actually be able to get a nice dot, and instead of the paint bristles that may not cooperate with you, very likely they won't cooperate with me, so I think I'll do the same thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna outline my peacock. So again, just try to, my black on my palette has been out for a while and it's definitely dry. So I'm just wetting it down with water, but then I'm just squishing my paintbrush around and flattening it out so there's not like a ton of water on my paintbrush as I'm going. Is this dry? Yeah, okay. We shall see. So sorry that my canvas is down, but I just want to have control over the line I'm drawing. And it's still a little bumpy, but it's there. But if it's flat out, just the way this is, it's going to drive me a little bit crazy. So my apologies. Okay, I also want to do his head. I won't do that yet. Okay. Let's continue with his body. Outlining the body before I do those little bumps on his bum. So sorry, this is flat down right now. It's just for me to have control over this a bit. And, it almost went flying into my palette. Like my brush stops being flat very quickly and I have less control over it. So I'm just resetting quite often with my brush and with my paints. Let's try the other way. I'm so glad, Sandra. Thanks so much for joining. Sorry it's taking so long, but this is a intense project. It's a proud, detailed peacock. Well, that line's a little thicker, but that works. Okay, so he's outlined. Ta-da! Looks like he has a bit of a fro going on. So I still need to do the outline of these bumps. And then I want to make that a little bit darker. I want to put another layer of white on there because it's still not the way I want it. And I still have to do the little pluff there. And I also have to put the little white dot in the eye. That is what's remaining in my painting. So I'm just going to get some more paint on my brush so I can continue the outlining process of these. And I think everything's dry here so I can put my hand down, which is nice. Sorry for it to be flat, but I just want to have a bit of control when I'm doing this part. Trying to keep my lines like smooth. It's really tricky for me to keep a smooth line on a curve. The way I'm doing it is I'm just going very slowly, and I'm just trying to move my canvas and my brush to where I feel like I have the most control. So that's what I have so far. Just been outlining it around there. Kind of started making it a bit thicker, and I think I like it a little thicker, so I might go back and make those thin lines thicker. Yeah, I am. I like that actually a bit more. Gives it a little bit more substance, so I think I will do that. You can see it more, it looks nicer. It actually makes it pop more, I think, so I like that. Okay, cool. There we go. So I did make it a bit thicker, but I actually like that quite a bit more. It comes out more. Awesome. So I think we have the lines, we have that. Of course, you can always add way more lines in the background to make it pop more black, whatever you want to do. I'm gonna go in and finish up the last touches there. So I want to take all that black off of my thin brush and try to get it pretty dry so I can get some white and then just touch up this area here because I want it to be a little bit more opaque than what we have. My white paint is pretty darn thick right now because it has been drying for a while. Get a bit of water. There we go. And make that white little bit more thick white. Okay, so just put a little more white like that. Keep that flat for a second because there's a little bit too much water that I'm worried that it's going to splash or whatnot. Okay, and I'm going to use Lindsay's suggestion, and with the end of my paintbrush here, I'm going to put white paint on the end like that, and then I'm going to just pop the eyeball from my Peacock in. Oop, there we go. Ta-da! Much easier than trying to maneuver with your paintbrush hairs. And then lastly, I'm going to put the little ploof on top of his head. I'm sure that's the technical term. Ploof. Ploof sounds good. And the ploof is kind of like, I'm using just the Peacock blue and I'm just dabbing it on. So it has some texture and it's fluffy and fun. I'm going to clean off my brush. I'm gonna get some white paint. Okay, and I'm just gonna pop some white paint right on. I'm not gonna mix it too much because the paint's pretty wet, so I don't want it to be too mixed. Oh, I think I absolutely put my hand on black paint. Yeah, I see where I messed that up a little bit there. So I'm just gonna touch that up too. There we go. Awesome. Okay. So I think we got all the elements in here. That was super fun. That took a lot of time, but that was super fun. I might end up still putting some more colors in. Like on the painting, it also has a little bit of browns and stuff to kind of emphasize more of those lines. So again, feel free to continue to add more to it. But I think I'm going to end off our live session with that. So thank you all for joining me. That was pretty intense, but really fun. That was a good 2 hours, guys. Thanks for sticking with me for 2 hours and painting. That was so fun. So yeah, so there's my finished, beautiful, fun peacock. So I can't wait to see yours as well. Please take a picture of yours when you're done and add it to our comments. I'll take a picture of mine too and add it there too. Next week we will have another 3 options for us to choose from. Like I mentioned earlier, I think we should, well, I'm going to be putting some actual real pictures up there. So there's a site called View from My Window, which is really cool. I'll put the link in too, so in case you guys want to follow it too, it's great for inspiration. And I'll pick 3 images, and then you guys can pick the one you like best, and then we'll do that one. And it'll be fun to work from a photograph, and we can try and see how we can make it our own as well. With acrylics. So we'll do that next weekend. So the voting will be up for Tuesday at 12, and then we'll have until Friday at noon to vote, and then we'll paint on Saturday at 2 p.m. On our live, as we always do. Thank you. Oh, good. I'm so glad, Tammy. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you guys did. Thanks, Queenie. Thanks, Alex. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. It was really fun. I really look forward to these sessions, and thank you all for joining me. And yeah, so that's about it for now. That's all for me. All right, guys, have a fantastic rest of your Saturday. Have a great Mother's Day for anyone, any mothers out there. So enjoy it, and thank you all. Have a great day. Bye, guys.